yours. Brian, how are you today?
Yes, football day. Excited for Thursday night football. Been waiting all week for this podcast and tonight.
Waiting all day for Thursday night. Okay, so everyone, we are running. This is technically our third take of the podcast. I'm going to own it for the first time in. This is our fourth or fifth season of doing the pod. Fourth. First time ever we did a dress rehearsal where yesterday we logged off and realized that it was not recording. So either we're going to be really great, even better today because we rehearsed, or if there's any lack of enthusiasm, that's on me, and I apologize. But shout out to Brian for being really flexible and not giving me a hard time about it, which he definitely could have. But anyways, here we are.
Yeah, I think if you didn't have maybe the worst fantasy team in the league, I would probably consider it. But seems like you're going through your own struggles.
Brian, so some of what I may reference today is our conversation yesterday. Brian's pretty low on my team, which I was given our power rankings last week, not super high, but I'm number 4 in the league right now, and that is based on 1 week. And my quarterback scored 7 points, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I will say, I say it because we know the least. Also, you're frozen over here. Am I frozen for you?
Yes.
Do you have bad?
What a joy it is to be here, everyone. All right, everyone. I have now also switched to the correct Wi-Fi connection at my house, so we're not going to start over again. Welcome to adulthood. I can't wait till we add more chaos to our lives. I don't remember what we were saying.
Well, we're here. You have internet. We're recording. All those things are true.
That could be everything that we need. Sorry that I'm stalling. Yeah, you were saying something stupid about my team, so it's probably a good thing that we cut out anyways. Anything you want to say before we jump
into it? Well, let's review. Well, let's look at last week. How did it go? I thought there were some pretty interesting developments.
Yes, I think that this was. I mean, every week one, I feel like we say this, but I mean, if any of you sports bet, the prevailing motto is unders week one, and I think like 14. No, on the Sunday games, like 14 of the games, or all but 2, I guess, of the games went under. So bet unders, and who would have thunk that the Jets Steelers would be one of the overs? And a lot of good players just did shitty. So I don't know if we can take. There's things to learn. There's things not to learn. A famous man once said on a podcast I listened to yesterday that week one is a harlot. And she lies. So what did you think about week one, Brian?
I say it every year. It takes the least amount of skill to have the most amount of points in week one because you know the least. You only have guesses based off of the guesses of other professionals who are guessing based off of what they think. It really is the rest of the, you don't win at the draft. But it is nice to start 2-0 or not 0-2. I thought we had some pretty interesting developments. A little bit of some surprises. Yours being probably the most surprising was that you actually covered median and won. I predicted while we were watching ball that you go 0-6. So you didn't. Maybe if you'd been facing me instead of someone else like a coward, it would have gone differently. But
yeah, I mean, I was very pleased to be 25 points over median with my my Thursday night players, quarterback, receiver, scoring 10 points. What else can you ask for? Got some touchdowns. I think touchdowns always makes a difference. But I also want to shout out, I mean, it's obviously more fun when games are close. I think we had 3 or 4 single-digit matchups. As I predicted, Bo was carried by Lamar. That's not as funny of a joke, but to a win. But that was a close matchup. They're both good teams. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we had one end of the game play deciding the matchup between Luke and Taylor, and also deciding the lowest scorer of the week.
That's right.
I think neither of you deserves a win, but I guess that's why we do median. And Shout out to Nate because he was in the dreaded 0-2, 2-0 zone, and I don't know. That sucks, man. I'm sorry.
Every year. Well, he's got next week. Yeah, in general, we're still back. That was kind of my takeaway. This was so fun. I mean, my own matchup was like predicted to win and then to lose, so I conceded, and then I got top score. We thought it was going to be Steven for a while, which would have been disastrous for morale. We thought it was going to be Bo. We thought it was going to be Gliss Kren. But I think we're starting to get a sense of whose teams are the most powerful right now. We'll see who actually manages those things into the next level. But very exciting. This was seeing Mac. This is like when a superhero goes to that like dark moment before they rise. Like it just has to get ugly, but it feels inevitable that he's gonna smack us around. Kind of scared.
Yeah, I'm not anticipating his team doing that for. I mean, his Bengals and I guess his Chargers played well, but Bengals and Collins all playing bad at the same time is probably not going to happen every week.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the waiver wire as for a second. We had, I guess, a positive benefit is that we get to look at Thursday's waivers today, which my takeaway from this is people spent a whole lot of fucking money, and not sure if any of them are huge needle movers. Question for you, Brian. What is Luke doing? What does he know that we don't know?
I mean, I think that he knows that if he had all the tight ends, we don't have any. I don't know. I mean, I think he did the right thing. He didn't freak out. He didn't do it based off position. He's just going for value. He got Fannin, so much hype. You know what I mean? He got Justin Fields with so much hype. I think in some ways he almost, I won't say rebuilt his team, but changed a lot about his team. He'll probably ride out week 2 and figure out what else needs to happen. But now he has pieces. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't think his team is as bad as it showed, but you do need to make some adjustments after week 1 if you have such a poor showing. Looks like he's also looking to trade Burrow. I'm mad about Justin Fields. I think it's always a struggle of like how much research do you do, because clearly that can help, but how much can you let research sway your priors, your gut, whatever you want to call that. I think like the Justin Fields stuff, like I kind of thought all year I was like, I'm just gonna have what is happening to our screen. Yeah, I just think like Justin Fields and Breece Hall. So those are 2 players I thought were gonna like be great fantasy players, and I got one, didn't get the other. But shout out to Luke for nabbing him, and I think Justin Fields is gonna be QB1 this year. Any other thoughts on waivers?
I mean, like they say that the highest return on investment in a waiver, the correlation comes from week 1, but also it feels like only the wide receivers and tight ends and QBs moved. We didn't get anything on the running back front. Our league is pretty well drafted. It doesn't feel like there's a ton on the waiver wire, but we'll see. I'm excited to see. And yeah, let's get into it. You want to talk about week 2?
One quick thing I want to say, because I said it last time and I'm remembering I haven't said it yet. I'm ashamed of you all. We are a week and a half in and no trades. I think that's a record in our league of longest drought.
Yeah.
I think
we talked about this.
Yeah, you had a rational response, which I reject, but I'd love to hear it again.
Well, I mean, it just makes sense with the way that our draft dollars are allocated. Everyone really maximized what they had, and very few teams went for depth. So the teams that have depth don't need to trade. The teams who are missing something don't have anything to offer. So what we need to do is, I think, let some of the value from those like later round picks and the waiver wire picks play out. So there's something to actually shift around. The only person who could probably even trade is Steven, but he every single one of his players is running back 1, quarterback 1, and wide receiver 1, and all of our players are trash that he wouldn't even consider having on his team. I think the exact quote I got from him was, JSN does not have that dog in him. So
yeah,
it was just a good opportunity to reflect on the trash on my team.
Yeah, I was going to say, one day you shouldn't let stats fool you. Like a 50% target share, that means nothing if he doesn't have a dog in him.
He didn't have a 50% target share. He had a 70%.
Also, I was going to say, yesterday I had not received or sent any trades. Today I can say live reaction. I just got a rejection, my first rejection of the year. So looking forward to many more.
You want to tell us what you overvalued and what you undervalued and how you were helping them?
No, I think it was. I understand why it was rejected. I think it was a pretty lateral move, and I am just higher on one of the players. So just depends on what you think. I don't know how many passing attempts what's his face had, but 13 is a lot of targets.
124 of 150 total yards to JSN.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay. Anyway, let's talk about next week.
Matchups.
But I just want to say, I think it's good that we're not overacting with trades. It shows that we understand we should let this play out a little bit. It's the first few weeks, and we don't need to gift you anything just because you're poor this year.
I am not poor. I am rich in love and in points.
All right.
First matchup, bring it to me. Me and Brian will not probably have as much shock because we already know each other's picks, but we also can maybe say anything we forgot yesterday.
Yeah, so I thought looking at these matchups, there's only 2 matchups that were difficult for me where I'm like, I could go either way, and we're going to do those first. What's crazy to me is we have 4, I think, that we have different answers, which is really great because I need to catch up, and I think your takes are garbage. I'm just kidding. We're like co-hosts and enemies at the same time.
Co-enemies.
The first one is the Brother Bowl. It happens every year. To be honest with you, I feel the ancient power of eldest sibling coursing through my veins. And you just feel like you're not like you're playing poker and you know what card's coming, or you just like whatever you're into, you just feel it. I'm going to destroy Nate, and he is going to be so sad, but he'll still play. Looking at these matchups, I just feel like I have some power players right at the beginning of the season. They're still fresh-ish, but all of their situations are set to explode. Of course, I'm jinxing myself, but I mean, we got that New York battle. We have Christian, who's the only healthy person on his team. We got Chase Brown playing.
I kind of would be worried about that. The McCaffrey, literally the environment is just him. So
that's usually a good situation for the best player in fantasy. Now, is this the week he actually dies? Maybe, but I can't plan around that. Just saying, that's how it looks. It's matchups minus Josh Jacobs just look a little tougher. That being said, I am giving myself the ultimate jinx juju here, so we'll see how it goes. But I have myself whopping Nate. No, I'm just kidding. I have myself barely beating Nate by less than 2 points, but asserting my dominance.
Yeah, this is one we agreed on. I feel bad because I had Nate, I think, number 2 in my power rankings, but I just don't like his matchups to start the season. It probably is just because he's very heavily reliant on one team, and I think KC, they're gonna make an effort to make that hard. Good grab by Booty. That was the guy I wanted the most. Good Booty
grab Booty. I was gonna say I wanted Booty the most too, just for the naming opportunities, True. But also, what's it like? Nate put some effort into changing his picture. This site makes it so hard to see someone's picture.
Yeah, on the app it's a lot easier. I don't know. The desktop of this
not anymore. They took it away.
Desktop. Anyways, yeah. Sorry, Nate. I think Brian's gonna win. I do think AJ Brown will catch at least 2 balls.
Then we have Alex versus Josh. So defending champ tries to redeem against the 2-0 start. I took Alex here in the end. I have a hard time just not drooling over his wide receiver room, but he does have a really uncertain running back room. We could see Walker bounce back and actually take the lead on the team. We could see continue to fade out. That would be an overreaction, but it could happen. Eckler seems slightly banged up with Bill waiting in the wings. It's going to be interesting. I still predict Alex is kind of like a late season bloomer, but let's see. Josh's team, the hype team, he was right on Bill. London got injured. It's just going to be really interesting. He did go out and make a move and pick up Juwan Johnson, which is really interesting. So I think it'll be close, within 5 points, but I'm giving it to Alex.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a low-scoring matchup, but we're in agreement. I have Alex. It's going to be pretty contingent. There's 4 Washington players playing in this matchup, so I mean, which of them, if any, get the touchdowns? And I think I'm a little bit lower on Josh this week, especially because I think I'm not confident London is 100%, and Josh really needs him to come through. And he has a tough matchup, not a 100% tough matchup.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out, that's for sure. But you take Alex, right?
Yeah.
And that's the last time we will agree. I'll let you start on this one. We got Mac Daddy. We have ex-defending champ versus ex-defending champ / defending lowest loser, whatever you want to put it. Niall.
Lowest
who do you have? Most denial.
All right. I've got Mac here. I think Hampton smashes this week. I think his receivers, it may be volatile like week to week, but I mean, they're in a really good spot. And yeah, I think that Mac's team is just going to bounce back in a big way. Steven's got a great team. I think he's probably going to still get median, but it's like, I don't know about this Jonnu Smith move, but I think Seattle has a good defense, and it's like, I mean, we'll see. Does Metcalf have that dog in him? So does he want this in his return?
I think he does. I think he's the real deal. I think that team got slept on, minus the running back room. But his team might abuse someone on the way to the game and get kicked out of the league. Tyreek is back in the lineup.
Tyreek's tough. And then he's got Tampa guys too, and I think Texans is a really rough matchup. But I think the scenario that we're going to enter is that Steven has a chance Monday night with one of the 2 games, and he comes up just short.
Okay, well, I gave Steven the commanding win here. I think he continues to spank Mac, and I'm not even trying to jinx him this time. I just really think his team wins. Who would you say, this isn't really related here, but who do you think scores more fantasy points right now? Omarion Hampton or JT in this game?
Oh, they're playing each other. That's so fun. Hampton.
Hampton, more points? Okay. Yeah. I think I have JT. Having a game, but it'd be interesting to see. Let's see. Sharp obviously could take it off a little bit. You know, I don't love the T Chase stack, just my opinion. If you're gonna do it, might as well just do it though. But yeah, let's see. I got Steven, you got Mac.
Yeah.
Going into the next one, we have yourself, the fraud 2-0 versus Blood of Diarrhea, the unfortunately 0-2. They have something to prove. I gave them the commanding win here, and
yeah,
I'll tell
I want you
why.
to go first because I'm not saying I'm guaranteed to win. I'm surprised you're saying a commanding win.
Well, first of all, Goff and Gibbs are going to destroy. I also think Gene T starts to show who he is, but this is 3 Lions. I think I don't know about JMO if I'm on board yet, but I think it's possible. I'm really looking, Kelsey's like the one healthy pass catcher in KC. They're going to need the points. Big game. Let's see.